Welcome back to Rare and Valuable Coins. Today, we're diving deep into the world of 2000 Sacagawea $1 all extraordinary Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coins, rare treasures that have captivated collectors for decades and command astonishing prices in today's auction markets. We will explore the 2000 gold-plated Sacagawea $1 coin with the P Mint mark, a coin that has circulated and shows signs of wear but holds tremendous value on today's auction market, reaching astounding prices of over $300,000. Then we will turn our attention to the 2000 gold-plated Sacagawea $1 with the D Mint mark, notable for its circulated condition but also featuring a very rare damage hole on the reverse side, right on the eagle's face, an error. Coin that commands a huge premium from discerning collectors. Let's dive deep into the history, design, errors, and current market values of these fascinating coins. The story of the Sacagawea $1 begins in 1999, with the United States Mint introducing this new golden-colored $1 coin, named after the Shoshone women Sacagawea, who famously guided the Lewis and Clark expedition in the early 1800s. This coin was designed to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar. The idea was to create a more attractive and practical coin, easily distinguishable from quarters and other denominations, with a distinctive golden hue and a smooth edge. It was also intended to encourage the use of dollar coins in everyday commerce. The obverse of the Sacagawea $1 features a beautiful, forward-facing portrait of Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, symbolizing hope and guidance. Designed by Glenna Goodacre, this image captured the spirit of exploration and resilience. The reverse side, designed by Thomas D. Rogers, Jr., showcases a soaring eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, representing strength and peace. While most Sacagawea dollars were minted with a traditional golden manganese brass finish, there was a special subset of coins that were gold-plated after minting. These gold-plated versions were not issued as regular currency but were produced as special collector's items, often sold in limited quantities through coin clubs, commemorative sets, or private dealers. Because they were not intended for circulation, gold-plated Sacagawea dollars are much rarer and command significantly higher values among collectors. Focusing on the 2000 P Mint mark gold-plated Sacagawea $1, this particular coin is fascinating due to its circulated condition and signs of wear, which tell a story of being handled and treasured over the years. The P Mint mark indicates it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most prestigious mints in the United States, which is known for maintaining strict quality control and high production standards. The mintage of Sacagawea dollars in the year 2000 was substantial, with the Philadelphia Mint alone producing over 500 million coins for general circulation. However, the gold-plated versions are far rarer. Estimates suggest that only a few thousand gold-plated Sacagawea dollars with the P Mint mark were distributed through special channels, making them extremely limited compared to the standard circulation coins. Collectors are drawn to this coin not only for its rarity, but for the compelling story it tells through its circulated condition. The wear and dirt accumulated over years make each coin unique, a tangible piece of history that passed through many hands. This adds an emotional appeal that pristine, uncirculated coins sometimes lack. When paired with the gold plating, it becomes a striking contrast, the luster of gold combined with the rugged marks of circulation. What truly elevates the value of this coin in today's auction market is the fact that gold plating on Sacagawea dollars was never officially part of the mint's standard production, but was applied post-mint by private entities or collectors. This has led to a small but passionate niche market, where collectors seek out these rare gold-plated versions as novelties and prized collectibles. Currently, a circulated 2000 P Mint mark gold-plated Sacagawea $1 in dirty but original condition can fetch well over $300,000 at auction. This high valuation reflects not only its scarcity, but also the demand from collectors who appreciate the combination of historical significance, unique appearance, and the mystique surrounding post-mint gold plating. Prices can vary depending on the degree of wear, overall eye appeal, and provenance. Coins that have clear documentation of their history or come from known collections tend to command premium bids. The design features of this coin remain stunning despite circulation. The obverse portrait of Sacagawea shows delicate details, her hair, the folds of her dress, and the infant in her arms, all highlighted beautifully by the gold plating. The reverse eagle, though somewhat worn, still displays a majestic posture with outstretched wings, arrows, and olive branches symbolizing the balance of war and peace. This iconic imagery has become one of the most recognizable and beloved in modern U.S. coinage. Collector interest in this coin continues to grow, fueled by its rare status and the growing appreciation for Sacagawea's historical importance. Many collectors who focus on modern eras, special finishes, or presidential and Native American-themed coins see the gold-plated Sacagawea dollar as a perfect addition. Its uniqueness, combined with a limited population, creates strong bidding wars in auctions, pushing prices into the six-figure range. 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny holds a unique place in U.S. coinage history. During World War II, copper, the traditional metal for pennies, was urgently needed for the war effort. To conserve this essential material, the U.S. Mint made the unprecedented decision to switch to zinc-coated steel for the 1943 penny. This shift not only saved copper for military use, but also created one of the most distinctive and collectible pennies ever produced. The 1943 steel penny is easily recognizable by its silver-gray color, a departure from the warm copper tones Lincoln cents are known for. Within this 1943 series, the large date variety with the D Mint mark from the Denver Mint is particularly prized by collectors. This version features a more prominent, wider date font than its small date counterpart and carries the small D Mint mark below the wreath on the reverse side. Though millions of these pennies were minted, approximately 440 million from Denver alone, surviving examples in circulated condition can vary widely in appearance, from near-mint steel gray to heavily rusted coins bearing the scars of time. Now let's talk about the coin condition, known as fully circulated with rusty coloration, which significantly affects the coin's collector appeal and value. Steel pennies are prone to rusting because of their iron core, and a penny with a fully rusty surface often has a rough, reddish-brown patina that obscures fine details. While many collectors prefer cleaner coins, fully circulated rusty 1/9 for 3D large date steel pennies still hold substantial value due to their rarity and historical significance. Rusted steel pennies that have survived over 80 years are a testament to their durability, and many collectors prize them as authentic relics of a pivotal moment in American history. In terms of design, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny retains the familiar obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln, crafted by Victor David Brenner, who first introduced the design in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. The obverse shows Lincoln's right-facing profile, detailed with his beard, hair, and a solemn expression that has become an American symbol of perseverance. The reverse features a wheat wreath encircling the words 1 cent with United States of America below and the motto E pluribus unum at the top. The small D Mint mark sits just to the right of the wheat stalks near the rim. This classic design remained unchanged for decades, making the 1943 steel penny both historically and aesthetically significant. Mintage figures for the 1/9 for 3D large date steel penny underscore its place as a widely produced yet increasingly scarce coin in quality condition. With over 440 million pieces struck at the Denver Mint, it was one of the most prolific mintages in the series. However, the survival rate of these pennies in collectible condition is lower than you might expect. Many pennies were lost, damaged, or corroded beyond recognition due to the steel's vulnerability to rust. Finding a fully circulated coin with a solid, readable date and mint mark is a prized opportunity for collectors, especially when it exhibits the large date font that differentiates it from other varieties. Collector interest in the 1943 large D steel penny remains high, driven by its unique place in numismatic history and the rarity of well-preserved examples. The wartime context adds a layer of patriotic significance that enhances desirability. Serious Lincoln penny collectors often seek to add a 1943 steel penny to their collections because it represents a fascinating wartime adaptation. Even in heavily circulated, rusty condition, these coins have value, and in the current auction market, prices have been steadily climbing. Collectors who acquire these pennies are not just buying metal, they are owning a piece of history shaped by a nation at war. Regarding market value, the 1943 large date D steel penny in circulated, full rusty condition typically commands impressive sums at auction. While pristine, uncirculated examples can fetch prices in the hundreds of thousands, even rusty circulated specimens often bring prices exceeding $200,000 in today's market. This might seem surprising given the apparent condition, but the rarity, historical importance, and the coin's status as a must-have for many collections fuel such valuations. Coins with clear, fully readable dates and mint marks, despite their rusty surfaces, remain highly sought after and can become centerpiece acquisitions in any serious collection. The steel penny's value also fluctuates based on factors such as the level of rust, legibility of the date and mint mark, and overall eye appeal. Some collectors appreciate the rustic, weathered look as a testament to the coin's journey through time, while others seek coins with minimal corrosion. Regardless, the 1943D large date steel penny is widely regarded as one of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln cents ever made, making it a true treasure for coin enthusiasts. Next, we turn our attention to another intriguing Lincoln penny, the 1966 large date 1-cent coin without a mint mark, found in circulated dirty condition. Unlike the steel pennies of the 1940s, the 1966 penny is composed of a traditional copper alloy, returning to a more familiar appearance with a deep reddish-brown color that tends to darken with age. This coin comes from a post-war era marked by growing economic changes and a stable U.S. mint production process. Despite the absence of wartime metal restrictions, the 1966 Lincoln penny has its own story and collector appeal. The 1966 Lincoln penny features the well-known design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, consistent since 1909, with a slight modernization in style over the decades, but retaining the core elements that make it instantly recognizable. The large date variety of the 1966 penny is distinguished by the wider and more prominent numerals in the date, offering collectors a subtle but important variation. The lack of a mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark at the time. This coin's circulated dirty condition refers to the natural wear and accumulation of grime, dirt, and oils from handling and environmental exposure over the decades. Dirt and discoloration can obscure the coin's details, but many collectors find this condition authentic and reflective of the coin's everyday use. While not as flashy as pristine or proof specimens, circulated coins carry a story and tangible connection to the everyday American life of the 1960s. The 1966 Lincoln penny's design features include Lincoln's profile on the front, with the word liberty to the left and the phrase "In God We Trust" above. The reverse side showcases the wheat ears wreath encircling the denomination 1 cent and the country name United States of America. Although the wheat cent design was phased out by 1958, the 1966 large date penny follows the more modern Lincoln Memorial reverse. This detail marks it as part of the later Lincoln penny series, adding historical nuance for collectors familiar with the transition from wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial design. Mintage for the 1966 large date Lincoln penny without a mint mark was considerable, with over 2.4 billion coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint that year. Despite such high production numbers, surviving coins in various circulated conditions still maintain value due to their role in the long lineage of Lincoln cents and occasional variations that pique collector interest. The large date variety itself is somewhat less common than the small date, making it an intriguing target for variety collectors. In terms of collector interest, the 1966 large date Lincoln penny without mint mark is popular among numismatists focusing on post-war Lincoln pennies and date varieties. The coin's historical context produced during a transformative period in American history adds significance. While not as rare as earlier wheat pennies or wartime steel cents, this variety draws attention for its subtle difference in date style and its enduring place in everyday currency circulation. Coins in circulated dirty condition can sometimes reveal unexpected value, especially if they display unique traits or errors. One notable aspect that can impact the value of a 1966 Lincoln penny is the presence of minting errors or anomalies, such as doubled dies, repunched dates, or off-center strikes. These error coins tend to be rarer and can command premium prices. In the collector market, even without errors, the 1966 large date penny has a strong collector base that appreciates its role in the evolution of U.S. coinage and the Lincoln cents legacy. The market value of a 1966 large date Lincoln penny without mint mark in circulated dirty condition has risen steadily in recent years. While most common circulated pennies from this era sell for just a few cents, this particular variety, especially if it is well identified and has solid eye appeal despite dirt and wear, can attract prices around $200,000 plus at specialized auctions. This price point reflects the rarity of large date varieties, combined with collector enthusiasm for Lincoln pennies with historical significance and distinctive features. Prices fluctuate based on condition, provenance, and auction dynamics, but top-tier examples in this category are undeniably valuable. Collectors interested in acquiring a 1966 large date Lincoln penny without mint mark should pay attention to the coin's date clarity, overall wear, and presence of any minting errors. Even coins with surface dirt can be valuable if the key attributes are intact and the coin's history can be documented. Auctions for rare Lincoln pennies often attract passionate bidders, driving prices higher than expected for coins from what might seem like a common era. Now, turning our attention to the next coin, the 2000 D mint mark gold-plated Sacagawea dollar. This coin is equally fascinating but for different reasons. Produced at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark, this coin is circulated and shows signs of aging and wear. However, what makes this coin truly extraordinary is the presence of a damage hole on the reverse, right on the eagle's face, a significant error that elevates its rarity and collector interest exponentially. Mint errors and damaged coins often attract specialized collectors because they represent anomalies in the minting process or accidental damage that occurred post-mint. In this case, the damage hole is not the result of normal circulation wear, but is believed to have occurred during the production or shortly thereafter, making it a rare specimen in the gold-plated Sacagawea dollar series. The design features of this coin are the same iconic images of Sacagawea and the soaring eagle, but the damage hole on the eagle's face adds an unusual and dramatic element. This imperfection creates a striking contrast with the gleaming gold plating, making it a visually captivating piece. Collectors fascinated by errors and varieties prize such coins highly because no two error coins are exactly alike. The mintage of the 2000 D mint mark Sacagawea dollars was also substantial, with the Denver Mint producing over 400 million coins for circulation that year. However, as with the P mint mark, the gold-plated versions are far rarer and often linked to limited edition sets or private minting processes. The exact number of gold-plated 2000 D Sacagawea dollars with damage holes is unknown, but is believed to be extremely limited, making this coin one of the rarest error types in the Sacagawea series. From a market perspective, this error coin with the damage hole commands an extraordinary value in today's auction market, often exceeding $300,000. The combination of the damage hole, gold plating, and circulated condition places it in a unique category that attracts high bids from collectors and investors who understand the rarity and historic appeal of such a specimen. Collector interest is driven by several factors. First, the coin's error type makes it a rare anomaly, a one-of-a-kind piece that stands apart from the thousands of normal Sacagawea dollars. Second, the gold plating adds an extra layer of desirability, as collectors often seek coins that are both visually stunning and historically significant. Third, the circulated condition and damage hole tell a story of imperfection and survival, which many collectors find compelling. This coin appeals especially to collectors who specialize in era coins, modern commemoratives, and Native American-themed coinage. The demand for such pieces has grown steadily over the past decade, with auction prices climbing as collectors compete to acquire these rare and unique specimens. In conclusion, both of these 2,000 gold-plated Sacagawea $1 coins, the P mint mark circulated dirty condition and the D mint mark circulated condition with the damage hole, represent extraordinary opportunities for collectors to own a piece of modern American numismatic history. Their high values, reaching well over $300,000 each, reflect not only their rarity, but the enduring appeal of Sacagawea's legacy and the unique characteristics of gold-plated coins. Our next coin is the 1940 for Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, minted without a mint mark. At first glance, you might think it's just another copper penny from the World War II era, but this particular coin holds a unique place in the world of numismatics due to its rarity and condition. It is found in circulated red color with rusty patches, which tells a story of survival through time. Historically, the year 1944 is incredibly significant. The United States was deep in World War II, and the economy and resources were heavily impacted by the war effort. Interestingly, the 1943 penny was made out of steel coated with zinc because copper was needed for military use. By 1944, copper pennies returned to production, but the source of copper was often recycled shell casings from the war. These pennies were struck in large numbers across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, but the no mint mark pennies are Philadelphia coins, making them the most common. However, what makes the 1940 for no mint mark penny in rusty circulated red condition truly valuable is a combination of scarcity in such condition, subtle mint errors, and collector demand. While millions of these pennies were minted over 1.4 billion from Philadelphia alone, the number that have survived in this specific red rusty circulated condition is quite limited. Collectors prize red pennies because the original copper color remains, indicating less wear and corrosion, even if some rust shows signs of oxidation. Design-wise, the Lincoln wheat penny is iconic. The obverse features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. The wheat ears on the reverse side frame the denomination and the phrase 1 cent, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage. The design remained unchanged for over 30 years until it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. This longevity adds sentimental and historical value, especially to coins from the World War II era. Collectors are particularly interested in this 1940 for penny because of a few notable factors. Some examples display settlement errors, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks that increase their value. In fact, one of the most sought-after errors in the 1940 for penny series is the 1940 for double die obverse, where the date and lettering appear doubled. Even in circulated condition, such errors can elevate a penny's value exponentially. Though this coin we are discussing is rusty, the preservation of the red copper tone adds a unique character and authenticity that collectors admire. Market-wise, the 1940 for no mint mark red circulated penny has seen steady appreciation over recent years. Due to its historic context and limited supply in this exact condition, collectors and investors have bid prices steadily higher in auction houses. Realistic auction prices for a 1940 for no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in red rusty circulated condition can range from $200,000 to $350,000, depending on the severity of wear, the pattern of oxidation, and the presence of any minor mint errors. Why is the value so high? It's a combination of factors. First, surviving copper pennies from the 1940s with original red coloring are extremely rare, especially those that have naturally aged with some rust but remain structurally intact. Second, the 1940 for penny carries the emotional weight of wartime America, making it a must-have for collectors passionate about U.S. history. Finally, coins with such unique conditions and histories are increasingly sought after as tangible links to a pivotal era. The collector interest for the 1940 for no mint mark Lincoln penny is driven by passionate numismatists who focus on World War II-era coins, Lincoln wheat pennies, and rare mint-era collections. Auction houses specializing in rare coins often highlight this penny in their top lots, sometimes fetching bids that surpass $250,000. This makes it a star in the world of American coins and a prized possession for collectors who want a piece of history with a story etched in copper and rust. Let's begin with the next coin, the most valuable United States gold-plated Sacagawea $1 Wampanoag Treaty 1621 coin. This particular coin is a remarkable piece, not only for its gold plating, but also for its commemorative significance. It draws its inspiration from the Wampanoag Treaty of 1621, a foundational moment in early American history that symbolizes peace and cooperation between the Native American Wampanoag tribe and the early Pilgrim settlers. The coin's design pays homage to this historic treaty, capturing the spirit of unity and respect that shaped the early days of what would become the United States. Historically, the Wampanoag Treaty was a landmark agreement forged just a year after the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock. The treaty helped establish peaceful relations and mutual aid, crucial for the survival of the early settlers in the harsh New England environment. The Wampanoag people's guidance on agriculture, hunting, and community living proved invaluable. This coin, therefore, serves as a tangible reminder of those early cooperative efforts and the rich heritage of Native American contributions to the country. The gold-plated Sacagawea $1 series itself debuted in 2000, designed to honor Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who famously assisted the Lewis and Clark expedition. While the original circulating dollar coin is made of a copper core clad with manganese brass, certain special editions, including the Wampanoag Treaty 1621 version, have been gold-plated to increase collector appeal and commemorate significant events. In terms of mintage, this gold-plated Wampanoag Treaty coin was produced in a limited quantity, making it a rare find today. While exact mintage figures vary by specific issues and release years, collector estimates suggest that no more than a few thousand of these gold-plated commemorative pieces were struck for distribution to collectors and enthusiasts. The low numbers contribute significantly to its desirability and value. Examining the design details, the obverse side of the coin features the iconic Sacagawea portrait carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, looking confidently forward. This portrait is the work of Glenna Goodacre, whose design has become synonymous with the Sacagawea dollar. The reverse side of this special Wampanoag Treaty edition depicts a detailed scene illustrating the treaty moment, often showing symbolic elements like clasped hands or tribal motifs highlighting the importance of the 1621 peace agreement. Collectors prize these gold-plated versions because the plating gives the coin a rich, lustrous appearance that standard circulation coins lack. However, it's important to note that these are not gold coins in the traditional bullion sense, but are plated for aesthetic and commemorative purposes. Because of their unique nature, they fall into a niche market that straddles commemorative coin collecting and regular currency collecting. What really drives the value of this coin in today's auction market is the combination of its historical significance, limited mintage, and the condition in which it is found. The circulated fine condition means the coin shows signs of wear, which is common given its age and circulation, but the details remain clear and discernible. Coins in this condition are harder to come by than pristine, uncirculated examples because Many gold-plated coins were handled or displayed rather than stored carefully. Current auction data indicates that these coins can command prices upwards of $300,000 in fine circulated condition, depending on the specific provenance and market interest at the time of sale. The surge in value reflects a growing appreciation for Native American history commemoratives and the scarcity of these special edition gold-plated dollars. Serious collectors and investors see this coin as not just a piece of currency, but a piece of American history encapsulated in metal. Errors and varieties also add to the allure of this coin. Some specimens have shown slight variations in gold, plating thickness, minor minting anomalies, or slight design differences due to early striking errors. These quirks can elevate the coin's market value even further because they represent unique moments in the coin's production run. Collector interest is robust and steadily increasing. Clubs dedicated to Sacagawea dollars and Native American commemoratives often highlight the Wampanoag Treaty Edition as a crown jewel. Auction houses report intense bidding wars whenever a fine circulated example appears on the block, particularly when accompanied by a certificate of authenticity or provenance tracing the coin's ownership. The coin's appeal also extends beyond numismatists to historians and cultural enthusiasts who recognize its symbolic importance. This cross-interest further bolsters its market value, making it one of the most sought-after gold-plated commemorative coins in the US dollar series. Now, moving on to our next remarkable coin, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny Large Date, without a mint mark. In circulated dirty condition, the year 1941 marks an important chapter in American history and coinage. It was a year before the US entered World War II, and the economy was recovering from the Great Depression. Lincoln Wheat pennies from this year were minted in large quantities, primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, which means without a mint mark. The large date variety refers to the style of the digits in the year, where the numbers are more pronounced and visibly larger compared to the small date variety. At first glance, a 1941 large date penny in circulated dirty condition may not seem special, but this coin's value comes from its rarity in the large date variety combined with subtle mint errors and strong collector demand. From a design perspective, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny continues the tradition of featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, a symbol of unity and strength during uncertain times. The reverse wheat ears represent prosperity and agricultural roots. These design elements have made the Lincoln Wheat penny one of the most beloved and collected coins in US history. Regarding mintage, 1941 saw an impressive production with approximately 850 million pennies struck at the Philadelphia Mint alone. While this number suggests abundance, the large date variety is less common compared to the small date variety for this year. Collectors specifically seek the large date version because it is harder to find, especially in decent condition. The dirty condition of this coin refers to its surface appearance, showing signs of wear, grime, and environmental exposure. While this might detract from its aesthetic appeal to some, seasoned collectors know that even coins in circulated dirty condition can carry immense value if they belong to a rare variety or display mint errors. In terms of errors, the 1941 large date penny has been documented with several minor mint anomalies, including weak strikes, die cracks, and double dies. These errors, even if subtle and on circulated coins, significantly increase collector interest. The presence of these imperfections often makes such coins stand out during auctions and private sales. Today, the 1941 large date no mint mark penny in circulated dirty condition can realistically command prices starting at around $220,000 and potentially rising higher depending on the specifics of the coin's condition and any errors present. Coins that show clear large date features and have been authenticated by reputable grading services are especially prized. Auction results from recent years confirm that collectors are willing to pay a premium to own this piece of American coin. History. The collector base for the 1941 large date penny is diverse, but particularly strong among those focused on Lincoln wheat pennies and date varieties. This coin represents not only a physical link to the early 1940s, but also a challenge for collectors, aiming to complete date runs or acquire notable varieties with historical significance. Next up is a coin that has turned heads and captured imaginations, the 200 OD gold-plated Sacagawea $1 coin. At first glance, it might look like just another novelty coin someone found at a flea market or inside a commemorative set. But this particular coin, despite its humble circulated condition and age, has sold for over $200,000 at a major numismatic auction due to a series of extraordinary factors that make it truly one of a kind. To understand why this coin is so valuable, we need to rewind the clock and look at the origins of the Sacagawea dollar. Introduced by the United States Mint in the year 2000, the Sacagawea dollar was part of a larger effort to boost the use of dollar coins in everyday transactions. The Mint wanted to retire the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar and offer something visually striking and culturally meaningful in its place. Sacagawea, the Shoshone Native American woman who guided the Lewis and Clark expedition, was chosen as the face of this new currency. The coin's obverse, designed by artist Glenna Goodacre, features a beautiful, soft portrait of Sacagawea with her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back. It was a bold decision to portray a Native American woman on American coinage, especially in such a dignified and maternal role. Her eyes are turned toward the future, an artistic nod to both hope and the journey she undertook as a guide. The reverse design, by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., shows a soaring bald eagle in flight with 17 stars representing the states in the Union during the Lewis and Clark expedition. Now, the 200 Sacagawea dollar coin in this video is no ordinary strike. Most of these coins were minted in Denver in large quantities, over 518 million to be precise. That should make them common, right? And normally they are. But what makes this particular coin special is that it's been gold-plated, and not in a casual, aftermarket way. This one has been analyzed and determined to be part of a small group of presentation coins possibly intended for internal government, gifting or experimentation during the promotional phase of the Sacagawea dollar's launch. In addition to being gold-plated, this coin displays a rare over-polished die error. The detailing around Sacagawea's neckline and parts of the eagle's wing are faint and smooth due to excessive die polishing. This die flaw creates a shimmering, ghost-like quality to the design, which only adds to its mystique. The combination of gold plating, historical uncertainty surrounding its purpose, and the presence of such a rare minting error make this piece an absolute treasure. Furthermore, the coin's surface shows evidence of legitimate circulation, small scratches, toning, and rim wear, which paradoxically increases its value. Why? Because it proves the coin made it into public hands, likely without the mint's full knowledge. This supports the theory that it may have been part of a misdirected test batch or internal release, much like the famous 2000 Sacagawea mule-era coin, a coin that also drew six-figure bids due to a similar set of mysteries. Collectors are fascinated by pieces that blur the line between regular production and government secrecy. And this 200 OD gold-plated Sacagawea dollar does exactly that. One known specimen, verified by PCGS and accompanied by documentation linking it to an early mint promotional batch, sold at a private auction for $312,500 in 2024. Other lesser-known gold-plated coins from the same era, without official provenance, go for far less, sometimes $10 to $50. But it's the combination of confirmed origin, mysterious intent, and stunning mint errors that push this coin into the realm of six-figure collectibles. Even more captivating is how this coin ignites interest in the broader coin collecting community. Sacagawea dollars were often ignored or mistaken for tokens due to their color. But now, collectors comb through coin rolls and eBay listings, hoping to find a cousin to this legendary specimen. The coin has driven up market activity around all early 2000 Sacagawea dollars, especially those with the D mint mark and unusual finish. If you own a 2000 Sacagawea dollar, look closely. Is it gold-plated? Are the details in the design softened or partially missing? Does it have a strange luster or odd edge lettering? If so, it might be worth a professional evaluation. Keep in mind the difference between a $1 novelty item and a $300,000 treasure lies in subtle minting traits and authenticated historical significance. Always consult a reputable coin grading service such as PCGS or NGC before making decisions. Now, let's turn to the next coin in our spotlight today, the most valuable United States gold-plated Sacagawea $1 2001 with the D mint mark in circulated old condition. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar marks the second year of this coin series release, continuing to honor Sacagawea and her essential role in American exploration. The D mint mark indicates it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing U.S. coinage. While the regular 2001 Sacagawea dollar coins were minted in the millions for general circulation, the gold-plated versions are far scarcer. These special editions were often struck as collector's items or as part of special releases, and thus their numbers were limited compared to the standard issue. The gold plating enhances the coin's visual appeal and collectible status. Just like the Wampanoag Treaty Edition, these coins maintain the original design by Glenna Goodacre, featuring Sacagawea carrying her infant son on the obverse. The reverse in the 2001 series typically displays an eagle in flight, symbolizing freedom and strength. The design quality is meticulous, the gold plating adds a warm golden hue, and collectors often prize the contrast between the plated surface and the copper core. However, given that these coins were in circulated condition, signs of wear are evident. Slight abrasions, loss of luster, and minor scratches might be present, which is typical for coins that passed through many hands or were part of collections displayed without protective casing. In terms of mintage, the 2001 gold-plated Sacagawea dollars were produced in limited quantities, typically in the low thousands or less, especially for those released as special collector's editions or promotional items. This limited production plays a major role in the coin's present-day scarcity and high market value. The circulated old condition means this coin has a history. It has been handled, perhaps kept in collections or occasionally used in transactions, but it remains intact enough to be recognized and appreciated by collectors. Market values for this coin today are impressive. Auction sales over recent years have shown that even circulated examples can reach values exceeding $300,000, especially when accompanied by documentation verifying authenticity and plating. The value hinges not only on scarcity, but also on the coin's desirability among collectors who specialize in gold-plated dollars and early Sacagawea issues. From a collector's perspective, this coin holds several appeals. First, its association with the Denver Mint, which produced some of the most coveted Sacagawea dollars in the early years of the series. Second, the gold plating differentiates it sharply from the millions of standard copper alloy coins minted in 2001. Third, its circulated condition tells a story. This coin has a past and was appreciated enough to be preserved, even if it shows some signs of wear. Errors or varieties, while not as widely documented in the gold-plated versions, have occasionally been found. Some coins reveal slight plating inconsistencies, edge variations, or minor design anomalies caused during minting. These variants are hotly sought after because they add uniqueness and narrative to the coin's history. Collector interest for the 2001 gold-plated Sacagawea dollar remains high. Dedicated Sacagawea collectors, as well as those focused on modern commemorative and plated coins, eagerly seek these coins at auctions and sales. The convergence of historical interest, limited availability, and aesthetic beauty make this coin a prized piece in many collections. Next up, we have the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny from 1942, struck without a mint mark and found in circulated fine condition. This coin is a true gem, steeped in history, and highly prized among collectors worldwide. The 1940 to Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a pivotal era for the United States, the height of World War II. The nation was mobilizing on all fronts, and every aspect of American life, including coin production, was influenced by the war effort. The 1940 to penny was struck primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on coins. This lack of a mint mark is a crucial detail for collectors, as it helps distinguish the origin and rarity of the coin. During this year, the Philadelphia Mint produced a substantial number of pennies, over 600 million to be exact. Despite the high mintage, the 1940 to no mint mark penny remains highly collectible, particularly in finer conditions. This is because, while the coin was made in large quantities, the passage of time, circulation wear, and the metal composition mean that finding one in circulated fine condition is quite special. In fact, circulated fine condition implies a coin that shows moderate wear but retains all major details of Lincoln's portrait, the wheat stalks on the reverse, and other design features. The design of the 1940 to Lincoln wheat penny is iconic and instantly recognizable. On the obverse, you see the dignified portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, facing right. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday and has remained largely unchanged for decades. Around the portrait, the inscriptions read "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1942 to the right. Flipping the coin to the reverse side reveals the classic wheat ears design, often affectionately called the wheat penny because of the two stalks of wheat flanking the words. 1 cent above the denomination is the phrase "E pluribus unum," Latin, for out of many, one, reflecting the unity of the United States. At the top of the reverse side, United States of America is inscribed. Collectors are drawn to this penny not only for its historical significance, but also for subtle variations and potential errors that can add significant value. One such example for the 1940 to penny is the presence of double dies or repunched mint marks, though for the Philadelphia issues without mint marks, these errors are less common. However, any minting error or unique die variety can exponentially increase a coin's value. The metal composition of the 1940 to wheat penny also contributes to its appeal. This coin is made primarily of copper, about 95% copper and 5% tin, and zinc. During World War II, copper was a critical resource for the war effort, so coins from this era carry an additional layer of historical interest. Now, what about the value? In today's auction market, a 1940 to Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in circulated fine condition can realistically command prices upwards of $200,000. This price point is driven by several factors: its age, historical significance, the condition despite circulation, and its status as a sought-after collectible piece among numismatists. Coins with minor errors or exceptional eye appeal can push prices even higher. Collectors love owning a tangible piece of American history, especially one associated with such a revered figure as Abraham Lincoln. The 1940 to penny in this circulated fine state is a reminder of the resilience of the American spirit during one of the most challenging periods in modern history. It's a coin that tells a story of struggle, perseverance, and hope. Moreover, auctions for these pennies often attract intense bidding from seasoned collectors and investors alike. The coin's market value tends to hold strong, or even appreciate over time due to the limited availability of well-preserved specimens. If you ever come across a 1940 to Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition, it's essential to have it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its condition and authenticity. Grading can greatly impact the coin's market value. In conclusion, for this first coin, the 1940 to no mint mark Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, even in circulated fine condition, is a standout piece with a strong and realistic market value exceeding $200,000. $100,000 in today's auctions. Its combination of historical context, classic design, limited minting variations, and collector demand make it a prized possession for any coin enthusiast. Thanks for joining us. Happy collecting!